Welcome back to the glorious fields of Perthshire. And for a wee change, I am not alone. As promised, there he is. Big Simon is here as well.
Hello everyone.
The Spanish Detectorist is in town.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful day. I mean, look at that sky. I've had to actually stand in the shadow of a tree so that I could film.
Yeah, we
Haven't-
have sun even.
Yeah, I haven't had to say that very often recently, I can tell you. Well, it's back to being cold again, but thankfully the ground is diggable. We are on a brand new permission, never ever been metal detected. I've driven past it many times, but it's always been in crop, and it's available for the first time. The only downside, they've spread cow manure all over the surface, which will make eating our sandwiches at lunchtime quite interesting. But yeah, it's a stubble field. It's been barley or oats previously. There is so much history around here, it's not real. We've got an 11th, 12th, hundreds sort of period, 800-900-year-old village just on the other side of the hill. We've got an old gunpowder factory on the edge of the field. And history around this area is incredible. We've got Romans a couple of miles away. We've got Iron Age, we've got Bronze Age going back 4,000 or 5,000 years as well. So anything is possible.
Hopefully we can make history then in a place working on history.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
What's your ideal find for today?
An axe head.
An axe head. Okay, we'll see if we can get you an iron axe head.
A silver Carolus, for example, will be fine.
A silver
So,
Charles II. Yeah, that would be nice. I'd just be happy to get back on the silver. Even just a milled coin would be good. But anything is possible. Oh, as ever, if you're not subscribed, then please hit the button and let's go and see if we can find some treasures. I hope there would be a lot of signals, and it's only taken me about 45 seconds. And it's a very solid 82, so as you know, it's always a live dig on the first, regardless of what it is. And we're out. Come on, let's get off to a flyer. I've promised Simon all sorts of treasures today, because this is a brand new undetected field, so a coin would be a fantastic start. But it's an ear tag for a cow. Oh well. No numbers, but yeah, it's an ear tag. Right, on to the next. I'm not sure if it's part of a button or if it is part of a little knob for a little drawer pull or such like, but that's my first well, decent target, if you could call it that. Probably couple of hundred years old. Well, almost put this in the trash thinking it was some sort of aluminium, but it is not. I think it's actually silver. And I think originally, looking at the back of it, it would have been a heart shape. It's a little locket, and it's got an inscription on the front. And I can see the letters NNE, so I think it's Anne. And it looks like there's a little flower above it as well. So we're back on the silver. I'm guessing it's probably Victorian, 1850, 1900 sort of period. But that is a beautiful little silver locket. I wonder if that was a sad loss for Anne. Probably she was out in the fields working, picking potatoes, and she lost her locket. But that is beautiful. And silver within the first 10 minutes. I've obviously got my lovely new shiny spade for the one that I broke. I've also got this lovely gift as well. So the two people I think wanted to remain fairly incognito and didn't want a shout out, but I'm going to give them one anyway for their generosity. So a huge thanks to Bob and to Ricky, the Torquay Detectorist, for gifting me these fantastic items. I hope they dig me lots of treasures starting right now. And so you'll probably all be glad to see me having this little hand tool. Oh, maybe a hinge or something. It's a coppery alloy sort of thing with a few holes in it. So I think it is some sort of hinge mechanism or such like. Yeah, a few holes in it. So there, wonderful. So huge thank you to Ricky and to Bob as well. Phenomenal. Thank you so much. This was a really thready sort of signal. I think it's lead. It could be a musket ball or it could be a bullet. I think I said in the description, but there used to be an old gunpowder manufacturing site here going back to the 1617 into the early 1800s. But that is lead. Yeah, it's either a bullet or a musket ball. Big bullet if it is a bullet. It looks like it's fragmented off there, so I think it is a bullet. That's probably like a 50 caliber, so I'm guessing probably from when the military were here in the Second World War doing some training. Nice. I have stolen Simon's find off him. Now look at that. You can just make out the Jubilee head, I think it is, of Queen Victoria. So she should have a little crown on her head. And I'll superimpose what she would have looked like. But this is a shilling. So because it's her Jubilee head, assuming it is her Jubilee head, then it'll be probably from like about 1887, I think was her Jubilee, through to 1901. But it is a silver shilling, so it's 92.5% silver. And Simon, that is a beautiful coin.
Very happy. This is just the second
target.
Second target and silver.
Second target. I can't think what way is. I think that's the right way up. So you would see the shield there with a crossed coat of arms of England, Scotland. I can't remember if it's Ireland or Northern Ireland it's on it, but and it would say "On soit que mal y pense" around the outside edge, which is "Who dare think evil upon me," or "Who dare bring evil upon me," which is the sign or the saying of the highest order of chivalry in England.
Wow. And wonderful information, John.
And there is actually a date there.
Yeah.
18.
18, I can.
Might be 97, 99.
Oh, 87.
87, could be. Simon, well done.
No, I can't. I can make. I am just. I can make the numbers. Impossible for me.
Well, it's just there, so maybe someone will recognise in the comments. But that is beautiful, Simon. One shilling, which was 12 pence, and that is going to be
number of beers.
Yeah, certainly 12 anyway. 12 beers maybe.
Oh, so
beautiful.
It's a good celebration for today.
Beautiful. Well done, Simon.
Wow,
see?
Yes.
I told you I'd bring you to the good fields.
Yes.
This was a wee 74. It's a little bag seal. It's got a little pierced hole in it. You can just make out a couple of letters and some sort of shape. Looks a bit like a cross. Probably be very difficult to see on the camera. Sun's very low in the sky. But it could be any age. Maybe relating to textiles, or seed, or even fertiliser. But my guess would be probably 1800s. Best sounding target so far. Half an hour in, we've both got silver. Me on my third hole, and I think Simon got it on his second hole. I think he'd only actually been detecting about 10 minutes because he kept forgetting everything. It's a very solid 81. I wouldn't be surprised if I've got a coin. Hopefully it's silver. There's something. Oh, I was going to say it's a shotgun cap, but it's maybe not. I was a bit premature there. You can just see the imprint. And, well, that's interesting, because that looks pretty small. And possibly Scottish hammered copper. Maybe. Right. Figure out if it's a button or not and get back to you. Well, folks, not only have we got a coin, but it's a base silver coin. Do you see that glistening coming out there? Initially when I saw that before I cleaned it, I thought maybe it is a button. But there is some detail on there. It is definitely a coin. And my guess would be it's probably European. So can you see anything on there? Because on the other side I definitely can. On the other side There is almost like a little eagle there at the bottom. You can see the little lines going round, so 100% that is a coin because it's got that kind of interior milled edge to stop it from being clipped. But I don't recognise it. My guess would be it's probably French or Dutch or maybe even German. So if you know, comment below, but my guess is it's probably something like 30 to 50% silver content. I think it's certainly below 50% because of the way it's gone, but it looks like a European coin, but I just don't know where. So if you recognise it, then let me know in the comments below, but I'm calling that a silver coin. Easy peasy. Beautiful. We've got ourselves half of a fancy looking button. So that's probably from the 1800s. You can see it's been gilded originally. That's where the suspension look would have been. It's even gilded inside as well. So it would have probably had a dome top on it with maybe a little figure or an animal or a coat of arms on it. So yeah, it looks like it's George III sort of period to me. Maybe 1800, maybe 1820, something like that. Could even be a wee bit older. But it was a scratchy wee 51. Got another little lead target. I think it's got a little flower in the middle of it, so I think it's another sort of lead seal. You can see a couple of letters, an E and F, maybe an I up the top there, and it's plain on the back with a wee bit of corrosion there. So another bag seal, I think, probably again 17 or 1800s. Not bad at all. Not convinced by this one, but thought I'd film it just in case. 89.90. Get in there. There we go. Sounds better now. Is it out or is it there? We're out now. Okay. That's us just about 1 hour on the clock. Something there, is it? Nope, that's a stone. Oh, it's a little finial. It's a nice little finial. It's a sort of beehive type. Similar to one we've had before. Probably would have been brass originally. That's the reason for that high output. But there is an old farm just off to my right hand side which dates back quite a considerable amount of time. It appears on early maps in the 1740s, so it's been here getting on for 300 years anyway. Maybe a lot longer. So yeah, a little drawer pull I think. A little beehive sort of design. Nice though. Again, probably Georgian into Victorian. Late 17 into the 1800s. My goodness, what a depth that came from. My first bit of cutlery of the day. Great big spoon. Again, probably 100, 150 years old. Initially I had my doubts about this one. It was reading 88, but it wasn't a great signal to be honest. In the right place. Somewhere down there still. Should have made my hole a wee bit bigger. Make life a bit easier. Ah, it's over there. Right, I'm going to turn you off and get back to you. Something is emerging. I think it might be related to irrigation or something maybe. Big bit for water pipe maybe. Ooh! Well, there you go. Might even be a fuel cap. No, nope, something brass. So, yeah, irrigation. Something or other. Well. I got my first 4-holer. So it is... Where does it say it? I saw it a second ago. There, at the bottom. Glasgow, the city of my birth, in the west coast of Scotland. Scotland's biggest city, actually. And probably Victorian, 1850, something like that.
You see a green thing here.
We're on the coin cam with Simon.
Yeah, in the coins gallery.
He's got another one.
Yes.
Oh, Simon, you're so lucky.
Yes.
Oh, it's a farthing maybe.
Well, look at, it's a good You can see quite well a man running, playing football.
Yeah, I don't know why people say you've got bad eyesight, Simon. I just don't see it. This was actually sticking out the ground partly. It's lead, or lead alloy. And I think it's going to be a saddler's badge. This looks like the plain side, I think. Oh no. Hang on. We got it. So, let's get the side that might have the detail on it. Yep, 100%. I can see the word saddler running across there. That might be all the detail that we get though. Looks like it ends in an E, so that would probably be either the person's name or the town that they're from. I suppose it could be Meagle. We've had saddle badges from Meagle in the past on the fields round here, which is strange because Meagle's about 12 or 15 miles away. Maybe they made incredibly good saddles, but that'll be from the 1800s, would be attached under the saddle, and it's just fallen off, or off the harness. But lovely, nice bit of social history. We've got another button, this time a 2-holer. It's lost the maker, well at least I can't make it out. But again, it's probably from a similar period, 1850, 1900. Buttons are always a great sign though, because it means there was people here, and if there were people here, hopefully they were losing a few more shillings. And that is us. We've had lunch, we're fully fueled. Simon's headphones aren't working again, probably the cold weather. Well, what a great morning we've had. We've got a good probably 4 hours to go before we lose the daylight. And well, I'm going to go and explore another part of the field. So fingers crossed, more treasures to be had. Let's go, Simon.
Yes, for more silver.
More silver and gold.
Older silver even. Eh?
Well, something old would be nice.
Always is good to ask.
Yep, we'll see what happens. And straight away we're in with maybe a coin, 84.85. Right about there. Ooh. Come on, let's get off to a flyer. We're out. Already got 2 bits of silver for me, 1 for Simon. I've got, what have I got? 1 coin. Simon's got 3, I think. It's not a coin. Oh, it's another knob, I think. Yeah. God, it's pretty solid, whatever it is. That is, who knows what that is? Can't see a thread on it, that's what I was cleaning it up for. Well, it's a very heavy little piece of metal. I'm more inclined to think it's furniture, agricultural, but if you know, let me know. We've got something. Oh, it's a ring pull, isn't it? It is. There we go. Well, I thought, yet again. Oh, never mind. Oh, I've dropped it. This side of the field is so far is a little bit quieter. But that doesn't mean there isn't good stuff here. Stone. This one is an 88. Ugh, another stone. Please be shallow. Nope. Oh well, maybe. I've either dug completely in the wrong place or it's in that tiny little tuft. Well, I'm close. Let's get the magical trowel out. Oh, there's something right there. Could be round. Oh, my goodness. If that's a coin, it's a whopper. Well, it's definitely a disc. Could be a big button. Huge button. Well, it doesn't look the right colour. The honest answer is, I've got absolutely no idea. Can't see any detail on that if I turn it in the light. It just looks plain to me. And that side is the same, bar the few scratches. So, it's a chunky wee thing. Can't see any sort of fastening for it being a button. It is slightly concave, but no idea what that is. A curious looking wee find. It's kind of like a little bit of a buckle, but it's confusing that it's got this little lug on the side. I'm assuming it would have been symmetrical. So, yeah, mystery. Oh, it is a buckle. Look, you can see the notch where the pin would have gone. So it's definitely a buckle, but a very unusual variety. Funny outread as well. I think it's possibly bronze or copper alloy, so it could have a bit of age to it. That could be 200-300 plus years old. But that's a nice, interesting find. Part of a big horse buckle, or even used for oxen for ploughing the field. Seem to be on a bit of a run with gas taps at the moment, but we've got another one. This one doesn't turn, but probably early 20th century, I would think. But yeah, it can't seem to go out without finding one at the moment. Are we finally back on the good stuff? It's a bit jumpy now it's out. Wasn't great when it was in the ground, to be honest, which is why I didn't film the dig, but... Right. No, it's a spoon, I think. It is. Cutlery number 2. Got a teaspoon this time. Well. Well, I thought it was going to be just a lump of lead, but I can see a pair of legs emerging already, so let's give it a wee clean together. It's very heavy if it's a toy soldier. Very heavy. Indeed. Well, that's kind of the back, I'm guessing. Which means this is the front. Haha, there's a wee face. Oh, you beauty. He's got a wee bonnet on, a wee Scottish bonnet as well. Oh, that's phenomenal. Oh, what an epic find that is. Because that's got a bit of age to it, I think. Looking at the size, the thickness, the crudeness of it. I think that's a wee bit older than your average toy soldier. Look at that. Phenomenal. So it's definitely a little Scottish figure or figurine. Possibly with a bit of a Highland connection going on with a hat. And, don't know, I think they've got their hands in their pockets, but you can see they've broken off whatever they've been attached to. Very, very heavy. Very heavy. Maybe a little stamp on the bottom there for a maker, possibly. But, well, that's a cool wee thing. That is really smart. I would guess it's probably going to be from the 19th century. But happy to be proved otherwise. If you know, comment below. I wonder if it was a little decoration in a house or whether it was for a child to play with. So if you've seen anything similar, then let me know. But I've got a wee Scottish fella. Tremendous. Find of the day for me. You can't make it up. That was the target that I thought was going to be a coin. Dig down here, don't film it. And it's exactly the same, and it's a coin. It's not a coin. Ah, I thought it was a coin. Darn. Oh, it's a horse brass. Well, that's alright. It's a little decoration for horse bridle or horse tack. But as you can see, it's seen better days. Probably couple of hundred years old, give or take. It might be a coin. 77. Well, it is. I think it is. I think we've got a halfpenny. At last. A coin. Definitely a coin. Oh, it might be Queen Victoria, so I got what I wanted. It looks to be in good condition too. Right, get a rub-a-dub on it and get back to you in a second. Fantastic. This will clean up a lot better at home, but I'll fade it in. You'll see the change of Queen Victoria 1897. So you'll see the veiled head, the older portrait of her, or the older bust. And the year is 1897. And that was a big year for her, because that was her, let me think, would it be diamond or golden? 50 years on the throne, 1897. So She had become incredibly popular by this point. She was probably one of the most popular monarchs in English history, British history. And she had a couple of slightly risky potential affairs, one with a Scotsman called John Brown, or Jock Brown, who was a sort of gamekeeper. And when she actually was dying, I'd read this a while back, she had a strange collection of items. She had her husband's dressing gown, who died like 50 years earlier, 40 years earlier, Prince Albert. She also had a plaster cast hand of Prince Albert in bed with her to hold on to. And she had a photograph of John Brown, Jock Brown, next to her bed. And she also wore a ring, which was originally Jock Brown's mother's. So there you go. Interesting. So, another coin. Happy with that. Is it just a mangled piece of copper, or is it something better? Outside chance it could be some sort of military badge, maybe. Well, there's something going on there, I think. Might even be another heart in the middle there. Right, I am going to give this a little brush and clean, try and slightly straighten it and get back to you in a second, but definitely looks like a heart shape. Before I've got a chance to finish cleaning, Simon says he's got something epic.
Epic, no, but you see the detail. Maybe it's a piece of the part of a back of a pocket watch.
Simon, that is sterling silver.
It's silver. Ah,
So,
yes.
big bit of a, it's a big bit off of a pocket watch, yeah.
Oh yes, I am confirming here with John.
That little hole there, that's where the winder would go in to wind it up every day. So it's definitely.
I saw the detail and I thought, well, could be silver because of the detail, the signal.
Yep, it's the back of a pocket watch, and you'll probably find somewhere in there there'll be a code with possibly the maker, and probably you'll also see some hallmarks as well. I would think.
Wonderful, eh?
So you should be able to date it potentially. I'll give it a wee brush for you because I'm that kind of guy.
You don't need the water here, or?
No, just a wee brush.
Yeah.
Simon just got that pocket watch there, just cleaned it up. We got a hallmark, an anchor, so Sheffield apparently. No, Birmingham, I think it is. But this is some sort of military badge. What turned out to be a love heart is just a big circle. You can see it's got this little bar at the top, so it's a ribbon or something's gone through there. And I'm not sure, possibly grenadiers because of these little sort of flames. So it's like the top of a hand grenade, almost like the smoke coming out the top of a hand grenade. So I think it might be the grenadiers. But if you know, comment below. My guess would be First World War. Looks a bit older, a bit more age to it. But if you know, then let me know. This is a nice one, possibly signal of the day so far. 9091. It's within the realms of, dare I say it, silver or Georgian copper. So, cue the big bit of lead. Doesn't seem like a big target. Oh, we might have a silver. We might have a silver. We have got a silver. We've got a silver coin. Yes! Looks like a sixpence. It looks like a sixpence, and it looks to be in pretty good condition. Fantastic! 3 bits of silver in a day. We just shout, Simon, silver! Silver!
Oh, really? Okay.
Silver, silver. Right. Oh, it's really nice. Really, really nice. Might be, oh, it's not, I think it's, is it 1913 actually? It might be. It's a beauty.
Oh, look at here with the water. Oh, very nice. George, no?
George V.
George V.
Indeed, give him a little dab dab.
Oh.
It's a beauty. Phenomenal condition. So is it 1913? Oh, it's not, it's 23. 1923 silver sixpence, so 50% silver, but as you can see in phenomenal condition. A bit of wear on it, but not too much. And on the other side, there he is. Look at that for a bust, for a portrait. Lovely, absolutely lovely. So I think sixpence in the 1920s, I think we were up to about 10 or 12 pence a pint by then, so it's probably only half a pint, maybe even not that, but it's a silver, third silver of the day for me.
Wow.
And 2 for Simon.
Another silver for this man.
Tell you what, not 30 feet away, we've got a pretty much identical target of 90. Oh, stone. Is it a back-to-back silver, or is it back to earth with a bump? Well, still sounding pretty good. 88 now. I think it's about there. Oh, it's still in the hole. It's in there. Oh no, look at that. Look at that. Oh, I've got another barrel tap. Well, that could be a wee bit older. It could be a little bit older, that, you know. Well, what a difference. I didn't realise it was that big a target. Well, it's definitely a tap. It could be from a barrel. Often workers were part paid with alcohol. They used to brew something called small beer, which was a sort of low alcohol beer, sort of 2% or something, and you would often get that as part of your salary. Well, what do you reckon? How old is it? Maybe not that old, but I think it's definitely for a barrel, because see that wee knob there, that's for hammering it in. And that part would go into the wooden barrel, and there where your tap would be to turn it on and off. So I think it is a barrel tap. Don't really know how old it is. It might just be 100 or 200 years old, but still an interesting find. So if you know, and let me know. I just took that over to show Simon, and I went, "What do you think?" And he went, "Oh my goodness, you've found a gun." Pew, pew. Well, I suppose it does look a bit gun-like, but you can see that both of us grow up in an environment where we don't have firearms, because we clearly neither of us seem to know what they look like when we find bits of them. This is not a firearm. Another screamer. 93. Ugh. Big silver, maybe, or an even bigger barrel tap. Oh, I think that's it there. Is it there? Oh, it is. Oh, it's a great big buckle. Oh, it's not. It's a hinge or a badge again or something. Or part of braces maybe. Got a kind of slightly military look to it again. Oh, in fact, you know what it is? It's not. It's horse related, I think. Look how thick it is. Ah, I've got letters. Oh, it's not. It is military. It is military. Or is it the Boy Scouts? It's the Boy Scouts. I don't believe it. It is the Boy Scouts. When I saw Scouts, I thought, oh, it might be the Lovett Scouts. Ancient regiment raised in the Highlands that was the very beginnings of the special service and this special armed forces. But no, I think it's the Scouts. It is the Boy Scouts. So there you go, the Boy Scouts, and then something BP maybe. But yeah, a Boy Scouts buckle. So it's probably turn of the century, last century. 100 or so years old maybe. Maybe they were all out here camping for a night. Maybe that's why we're finding so many bits of old tin can. And I forgot to actually say, for anyone who doesn't know, the Boy Scouts, it's a sort of organisation for kids, founded in the probably late 19th century. A lot like the Boys Brigade that I met, teaching kids camping and outdoor living and such like. And I think the guy who founded it was called Powell. I'm sure he was English. I want to say Enoch Powell, but I think he was maybe a fascist, so maybe it was another Powell. Badenoch Powell or something rings a bell in the back of my mind. But anyway, 19th century it was founded, I do believe. Still going strong today. Simon! Simon! Come and have a look! Well folks, it was a very rubbish sounding 62-ish, 68-ish 2-spade fills out. Thumped it just there with a pinpointer. It's covered in mud on the back, but I think we've got a hammered coin right there.
And attention, we have here. Oh, look at that! What is coming up?
And there we go. Now that is a hammered coin, and it looks to be whole. See if we can just pull that open. No, it's a bit sticky. Right, I'll give it a wee wash. You beauty.
Oh, it's
Well,
a hammer coin. What was the signal? How was the signal?
it wasn't great, not at all. It was initially like a low 60s or something like that, and then now that it's out, when it was lying flat, I think it was about 71. I think when I went over it with the machine. But I'll let you have a listen to it. We'll get there in the end. There is a cross, a very clear cross. Doesn't really want to come off there. There we go. That is a hammered silver coin. And I think we've got a head there, or we do. We've got a pretty clear head. Oh, I'm upside down. There it is. Oh, it's an absolute beauty of a head on there. That is a stunner. I think it's going to be another Edward.
Wow.
So I'm going to clean this up off camera. Look at that. It's had a bit of a nick. That wasn't me, I should add.
And the cross there.
Cross and the
Beautiful.
pellets. Might be able to get a mint mark off that as well. Fantastic! And there we go, folks. Giving it a little bit of a burnish. Bring out a little bit of detail. You can see at the very top, you can see EDW. So it's definitely one of the Edwards. Probably the first, second or third. So Edward the First was something like 1272 to 1307, I think it was. And then the other two followed, and I think they were both dead by about 1360. So it'll be sometime between 1272 and 1360. And it's probably Edward the First. He's definitely the most common that we seem to find, but we do get seconds and thirds as well. And you can see his beautiful portrait looking right at us.
It's quite in good condition.
It's in lovely condition. Now on the back, there is not much of a mint mark left, but it would say Civi, C-I-V-I-T-A-S, which we can't read. And thankfully that bit's still there, because you've got a Gothic C, an A, and an N, which tells you Cantor, Canterbury. So minted in England at Canterbury. And that is probably a 1 penny. Phenomenal. What a find. From the time of William Wallace and Robert the Bruce and the first Scottish Wars of Independence.
And the hammer of the Scots.
Yeah, Edward the First, the hammer of the Scots. And also Bannockburn, 1314. Edward II was defeated near Stirling at Bannockburn by Robert the Bruce, our most famous king. Phenomenal. What a find. I was hoping we would get something old here, but it doesn't always work out like that. Well, another hammered coin. Unbelievable. Absolutely stunning. And it just goes to show you, literally every field in Perthshire potentially can have a hammered coin in it. To be fair, we've found a lot in fields in and around this area, so I suppose it makes sense. And as I say, there's an old medieval village, original medieval village, which was founded back in 1200, which is just a stone's throw from here. So these fields would have been agricultural for over 1,000 years. I mean, realistically, probably 3,000 or 4,000. But I've got myself another find just next to it, right here. It's not a hammered, but it does look like an enamelled badge. It was an 81, and right there it is a little badge. It is a little enamelled badge, and it's actually got a castle on it. Get you back in the holder. Sometimes these could be made of silver. Looks actually like it's got some gilding on it. Right, what am I going to do with this then? I think I'll give it a very, very light brush. Oop. As the light's starting to slowly go downhill, it might struggle a wee bit with the light. It is definitely a castle. Can't quite make it out yet though. I mean, it could be anywhere from the UK. It could be someone brought this back as a little bit of tourist memorabilia. Right, so it's gilded on the back, and I'll give it a wee clean up and see if we can figure out what castle it is. I think, as I initially thought when I saw it, I think it is Bamborough Castle, because Bamborough Castle's somewhere I visit with tourists, and I thought I recognised the silhouette because it's a very distinct shape, but it's a very ancient castle. I mean, they think it's probably been a fortress going back to the 400s or even 500s, so over 1,500 years old. And it gets its name, Bamborough comes from Bebbanba. Queen Bernicia, I think, is her anglicised name. She was a queen of the Anglo-Saxons, and she was referred to often as Beba. So Bebbanborough, Bamborough, that's where the name comes from. Also features, if you've seen the film The Vikings, or is it just Vikings, on Netflix. Forget the name of the main character now, but something of Bebbanba. So that's Bamborough. There you go. Beautiful. Probably 19th into the early 20th century. This could well be a part of Simon's pocket watch that he got. It's being gilded. You can see it's kind of recessed in different places. A little bit of decoration on there, but I'm pretty sure that's probably off a pocket watch. And date-wise, probably 1850. Oh, nearly 1850, 1900s. Here he comes. He shouted me over. He says he's got himself something medieval. Something medieval or hammered.
Nothing,
Hammered, did you say?
No, hammer, no. Wow. I was just to ask. It's trash, probably.
It looks like a key handle to me, maybe.
Ah, key handle.
I think there's maybe a key coming off there.
Yeah, I was thinking something to open beers, but no, because it has some decoration, kind of. Yeah. Yeah,
it's got that kind of look as well, isn't it, of a bottle opener?
Yeah.
But normally it's got a little tapered bit on the edge to get underneath the
looks like
the
a
cap.
heart.
But yeah, I think it's possibly a key handle. So it would have extended out to maybe about there.
Wonderful find, no hammer coin this time.
Well, might be what, 19th century, 20th century, early 20th.
A piece of history.
Absolutely. When it comes to me editing this video, there's probably going to be an hour's worth of me going, I think it's a coin. It's not. I think it's a coin. It's not. This could be a coin. Oh, wrong way round. 87, but it is very high pitched, but maybe it's just shallow. No, I don't think so. Another one for the cutting floor, potentially. Could be a tiny egg cup. The interior's pretty black. But, well, I don't think it's a weight. I don't think it would be hollow if it was a weight. But, you know, it could be. Ah, well. Right next to this old stone wall, am I finally going to guess correct? 84. Has to happen eventually. Well, there's something green that's not a coin. Nope, that's a stone. It's round. Yes, maybe. Maybe at last. I've guessed it right. It looks, if it's a coin, it's looking Georgian. Oh, it's a button. It's a button, but it might be decorated because I'm sure I saw a head on there or something. Right, there's definitely something going on. It is a button. It's not a coin, but I can forgive it. But you can just make out Furman and Sons. Oops. Furman and Sons along the top. You can see London here, and that is the Strand. Furman and Son, a major button manufacturer of the 1800s, I think. I don't think they're still around today, but I'll need to Google that. And this is a livery button. So we've got a little bird. It looks like an eagle. It may well be sitting above a crown, possibly. And my guess is that's probably 19th century. So livery buttons were often used by one estate or one household that owned lots of land that they also farmed. And all the estate workers, the foresters, the farmers and so on would often wear waistcoats and jackets that had the heraldry of the family on it. So I think this is the family crest. I'll need to look that one up, but that is a nice little button. Originally it would have probably been gilded, so it would have been a gold colour when it was first made, but very nice little find. I'm going to persevere in the hope that I can call one of these right eventually. Screamer of an 83, soft ground, not a big target. Still sounds okay. The sun is slowly setting. Probably got half an hour or so left. And I'm not seeing anything. Is that it? That's a stone. Oh! Oh ho ho ho! Oh! Oh ho ho! We've done it. I think I've done it. I think I've actually managed to call a coin right for the first time today. I mean, I maybe did call the silver one right, but it was such a good target. I had so many good targets and just not turning out to be anything. Well, I might be struggling to get anything off this, but I will let it dry out a little bit, see if we can get some of this surface corrosion off and mud. It is a coin, but I think identification is not going to happen. Got an E and an R, but I don't think that helps me. But if anyone can figure it out, my brain isn't computing. It could be a 1 and an 8 there, 1 and a 6, or a 6 and something else. Well, it is a penny. It's probably Victoria or George V or such like, but sometime between the 1830s and probably 1930s, give or take. But it is a coin. I just rescanned the hole where the coin came from. This was actually in the same hole. Thought I'd clean it up together just in case it turns out to be something amazing. Maybe not. First, you know, I thought it was maybe a wristwatch. Part of a wristwatch, but not sure what that is. It's a weird little thing with a little swirly design inside it. Not sure what that is, to be honest, but it's a thing. Camera's nearly out of battery, microphone's nearly out of battery. Could be my last signal of the day, 92, 94. It's a screamer. I think it's going to be brass, or maybe a bottle top. Or a doorknob. And it is a brass doorknob. Another brass doorknob. Ah, well. Oh well, folks, look at that. Sunset on the horizon. Absolutely beautiful day. Fantastic day for detecting, and it's been a fantastic day of detecting. Here he comes. You'll need to get in close, Simon, so it can focus.
I thought you were telling me to go
So,
out of the sunset.
so there he is.
Spoiling the sunset.
There he is. So yeah, a great day. The sun's going down probably in the next 10 minutes, so I thought I'd film this quickly. Carry on detecting, see what happens. But I think a day worthy of a visit to the lightbox. What did you get? 2 silver?
2 silver.
I think
two
I got
silver.
4.
4 silver. So he
Including-
won. Eventually, Deus
Yeah.
2.
There's 2 triumphs,
yeah,
but you know
won
you'll
the
have
battle.
your day. You'll have your day. So I'm going to have a wee go in the light box. So don't go anywhere. And what a way to finish the day! Beautiful little ring pull, wonderful. Welcome back to the light box. It's been a little while since we've been here. I think it was the Charles II. Silver Merc that I found. That was the last time we were here. So I think this is the haul that I got on the day out with Simon. I'm filming this a few days later. The ground, unfortunately, is frozen once again. Every time I make arrangements to get out with Albert to go out with a horde hunter, we can't dig the ground. It's an absolute disaster. Anyway, we will get there eventually, so bear with me on that one. So I think this is everything from the other day. There may be 1 or 2 things that are actually from a previous dig that I'd left in the finds pod. But let's have a wee look at some of the best items. This is the remnants of a saddler's badge. And it's from a little town, well in fact a little village in Perthshire which is called Meagle. In fact, it might even be in Angus. It might be just over the border in the next region. But it's from the 19th century. It's a saddler's badge, and you can just make out the word Meagle. I can't quite make out the name of the manufacturer, but nice little find. And one of the coins, which was a lovely little Victoria halfpenny, 1897, and the old head of Queen Victoria there looking to my left. And this was a really nice button that I found. So you can see the name Firmin and Sons of London, and I think the address is 153 The Strand in London. So they were a huge button manufacturer in the 19th, 20th century. And there is what appears to be a bird, possibly an eagle, maybe a dove. And there is definitely something else going on there, but I just can't make out what it is. You can just see a few flecks of gold because originally it would have been gilded, but it is a nice find. This is one of the other coins that I found. I think it could be Queen Victoria, but I'm not entirely certain. On the other side, there's not a lot to go on, but at the very top there you can just see the letters ER. So if anyone can recognise it, then let me know. I think this is my star find. It's a little figure. Half of me wonders if that lump on his chest could even be a set of bagpipes. Maybe. But he's wearing a wee bonnet, tilted over to one side. And you can just make out a little bit of an expression. Hand on hip. A little bauble on top of his hat. This is a type of hat that was very popular during the time of the Jacobites in the 16 through into the 1700s. And well, date-wise, I think from what I've seen online, this could be 17 into the beginning to middle of the 1800s. Maybe a little child's pride and joy, their favourite toy. But if you recognise it, then let me know. Definitely looks like a little Scotsman to me. Then a lovely little bit of fairly modern silver, 101 years old, 1923, a sixpence of gorgeous George V. And Simon managed to outdo me with a massive shilling of Queen Victoria, which I featured earlier on in the video. He was over the moon.
He was absolutely delighted, beside himself. Probably one of the best coins that he's found in the last year or so. So he was over the moon, and I was happy for him, that's for sure. This is a silver coin, but it may well only be 40 or 50% silver. You can see it's gone quite green on the outside. I'm pretty certain this is European. I'm not sure where it's from, but you might be able to just make out a little bit of detail there. And I wonder if it could be French or Dutch or German or such like. But if you recognise any of the design on detail on there, then let me know. But I am claiming this as a silver find. And another star find, although I do have to say the little lead Scotsman is probably my favourite find, but this is a lovely little penny. You can see EDW with the star at the top. You can see the face looking right at us. And this is one of the Edwards. So on the back, you can just make out top left, CAN, which is for Cantor, Canterbury, City of Canterbury. So this is probably Edward the First, and that'll put it sometime between about 1272 and 1307. The Hammer of the Scots, as he was also known, because he invaded Scotland. And that's when you have the likes of William Wallace and Robert the Bruce, some of our most famous characters in history. Beautiful, lovely coin, and I'm sure that would have bought a fair few pints of beer. This one, I think I've scored a bit of an own goal, because I thought it was Bamborough Castle, but now that I'm under the spotlight, it's EDINBURGH, I do believe. Edinburgh. How did I miss that? A place that I visit dozens of times every year, and I thought it was Bamborough. So there you go. What do I know? So yeah, Edinburgh Castle, a little enamelled badge, probably from the turn of the last century, 1900s, 1930s, something like that. Someone bought it as a little keepsake, and then threw it away, or lost it. But still, it's nice. And this is a really lovely little find. It's a silver heart-shaped locket with the name Anne, A-N-N-E, inscribed into it. So that's been a little necklace, a little keepsake, maybe even a charm on a bracelet. And because of the name, Anne, it may well have been something bought by parents for their daughter, or even a husband or boyfriend bought it as a little gift. But it's a lovely little item. It's a shame that it's smashed and it's flattened and it's been squashed. But it is silver. You can just make out that it has been a love heart. And I wonder if Anne possibly also dropped the shilling, because it's probably from that kind of period. Victorian, I would say, probably about 1860s through to 1880s, 1890s, looking at the way that the inscription's been done. But it's a lovely little item.
A phenomenal little collection of finds, 4 bits of silver, over the moon, especially for the medieval coin. But tell you what, that little lead figure with a little, what I think is a little Scotsman, or a little Scottish boy with a wee bunnet on his head, tilted off to one side, I think that's actually my find of the day. I really love that, really love that. So I'd love to know more. If anyone can guess a date, then that would be tremendous. So as ever, thank you all for watching. If you're not already subscribed, then please hit the button and help support my channel. And hopefully I'll see you all on the next dig. Fingers crossed it's as good as today. Take care. We'll see you soon.